Hello, I'm Dr. Tim Stombaugh, and I'm excited to be the instructor this year for our Principles of Internal Combustion Engines course, AEN or TSM 220. And I want to spend just a couple minutes here to welcome you to the course and to give you an idea of how we're going to handle this course. COVID has certainly made these educational times very interesting and very challenging. In particular, this course is going to be a challenge because it is a very hands-on course. And so maintaining social distancing in a climate that is changing daily and weekly in terms of what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do and what is safe and what is not safe, it is going to be a challenge for us. But we're going to try to work through it, and I'm going to work hard to try to maintain at least some, if not all of that hands-on experience for you folks. And so what we're going to do is what we're calling a hybrid, what you're hearing from a lot of courses in terms of a hybrid format of this course. So what you're going to get on a weekly basis is a few lecture videos in a format very similar to this. And I'll go over in the lecture with some PowerPoints, the principles that we need to discuss. I'll do some example problems on a few of the math things that we have to do and stuff like that. So we'll go over that. And then what we'll do in our class time, when we normally meet on Monday and Wednesday for lecture, we're actually going to split the class in half. And half the class is going to come on Monday, and the other half will come on Wednesday. And because of that, then we can keep the numbers down and be able to maintain the social distancing within the classroom and meet the guidelines that are given right now by the university in terms of capacity and what we're allowed to do there. So that's how we'll handle the lecture format. The way we're going to handle the lab is going to be a little bit more touchy. Some of the exercises that we do with engine performance on a dynamometer, we can do those socially distant. And so we can spread out. We have controls, different things that we can spread apart, and we can maintain that social distancing and the safety that's there. What's going to be more of a challenge is the part of the course where we're actually tearing apart an internal combustion engine, a small gas engine, and learning about the internal workings of it and so forth. And I understand that there's a lot of people that are very passionate on different ends of the spectrum in terms of social distancing guidelines. Some people are to the point where they think this is a government conspiracy or something like that, and they really don't care. They think it's all crazy. And we also are going to have people who are very concerned and very passionate that they do not want to get this virus and to spread it to other people. And so I recognize that we're going to have that wide spectrum of people as part of this class, and we're going to work hard to be compassionate and accommodating for those folks. So we will talk about this the first week of class and see if we can come up with ways that maybe some of you who are normally maybe rooming together or something like that, so you're normally together non-socially distanced, and maybe some of you would be comfortable to work together on an engine. It works better if we have two people working together on an engine. So we might be able to identify some folks like that, folks that are not comfortable doing that, or doing it with masks and other personal protective equipment. We may try to find individual engines for you to work on. So we'll talk about that the first week of class and see how we're going to be able to handle those labs. So again, my goal is that we're all going to have some type of a hands-on experience as close to what we would normally do in this class as possible. So we will work through some of those details in the first week of class. So be prepared that first week to come and discuss these things and think about your schedules and your comfort level and what you would be able to do in a class and so forth. So we will talk about that. You will be getting some information from me. What I will do is typically communicate by email on a weekly basis and let you know the plan for the upcoming week, and we expect plans to change, especially if we get spikes and we all get sent home or something like that. So we're going to we'll have those communications on a weekly basis, and I'll let you know what lectures that you need to watch, what information you need to have read before you come to class, and then what we will be discussing in class and what we'll be doing in lab and so forth. So that is the plan. If everything goes as normal or as normal as possible, the course, we will start off the course looking at some basic principles of internal combustion engines and performance. So we'll spend some time in the lab measuring engine performance with a dynamometer and talking about how we do that, how we measure power and some of those kind of things. Then we'll spend the next several weeks actually going into details of the different systems on an engine, the ignition system, the carburation or the fuel delivery system, and the lubrication, and all those other systems we'll take a look at in detail. And we'll have laboratory exercises to go along with that, where we actually see those components and take measurements and so forth. Throughout this, we will also be learning tool ID, which is a very critical part for the ag praxis. For those of you that are going to go into teaching VOAG, that praxis, that's a big part of that. So we will cover a lot of those kind of principles as well. Depending on how the semester finishes out, we may actually throw a little bit of fluid power into this course. It's kind of a new thing that we wanted to try this year. Again, this is some topics that are on the ag praxis for those students who are going into the VOAG teaching. And so this will help you out with that test to learn some of these fundamental principles of fluid power, hydraulics, if you will. And so we may be able to finish that up. So that's kind of the plan for what we're thinking about for this year. And again, these plans are going to have to be flexible because we never know what's going to happen and how things are going to go and as we move through the semester. So we'll do our best. I hope you guys are excited about the course. I am. This is a really neat subject and a lot of fun things we can talk about. So I think it's going to be a neat time. I hope we can work through some of these COVID restrictions and be able to give you a good educational experience and some things that you can carry away from here. So I look forward to seeing everybody the first week of class.